Right, I need to send you the stream back. Yeah, I don't know. Dolores has definitely crashed because we saw that on the when Kelly it turned onto him, and then it's booted me, you, and Kelly. Share. G. Yeah, you ready up, Ian? We'll try and get back in. I think yeah, I'm coming back in now. I've just sent you the stream. It should have put us both back in with the thingies as well.
Right,
For fuck's sake, man! What the fuck?
That's fucking bullshit.
What happened?
The race has just ended itself.
Hey, we got like any lobby down. We better just jump straight in. No practice, just no bullshit.
So
Same shit.
We think it was
Dolores crashed. Dolores games crashed or something. Dan, we saw on when Kelly on board him, and then it's booted me, Kelly, and Andy, as well as himself, as well as Dolores. I reckon it's glitched the whole server out.
Yeah, because the entire race just ended there by itself.
right.
Oh, is it? You're joking.
You setting up a new lobby, Dan?
Doing it.
Cool. Gives me a chance to have a piss, doesn't it?
Can you just wait a second? What? Oh no, my friend's list is being fucking slow. Oh, fuck you!
Right, that's everybody in the lobby in the know.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, fuck, man, this is ridiculous.
Yep. Normally it's ACC that has these kind of issues.
Beth!
Right, Andy, Kelly, Matt, Hemo, all in. Oh.
I'll get Gary. Don't worry about Gary. I'll get him in so you can just invite everybody else you need to. That way it takes one off of your thing. Can you do me a coffee? Just while we're sorting this out, this has crashed.
Failed to join. Fuck off, project guys.
It's not just a game. PlayStation friends are loading up so slow. Servers. Have you got the invites, Landy, or do you want me to send you another invite? No. Oh, what the fuck? This is. It's not even loading my friends list. Huh? Don't know. Someone liked and then none of my friends list are popping up. Yeah, I can't.
Check I'm checking the status real quick of PlayStation.
PlayStation services are all up and running. It says here.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
How do you
Try
see
now,
that?
Andy.
Just Google.
go
I just
onto
Google
the
PlayStation
I'm
Network.
Google it.
home.
Right. I'll send you an invite as well, Andy. And if Dan's don't work, try mine. All friends. This is an ongoing issue. This is recently the friends list loading slow. This is taking piss. Custom list follow. Yeah. My game's loaded. No, my friends list is not loading up with anything. I've literally, Dan, it's loaded up as if they're there, but I've got no names, no pictures, fuck all. An error has occurred. Cannot load. Yeah, mine's just come up saying an error has occurred, yeah. An error has occurred. Gee, it's just text me, is it still playing up? Yeah, everyone got booted when we rejoined. Now it won't load. Friends. Oh, we're starting to get people in. Right. I'm glad you've got a friends list, Dan, because nothing's popping up for me, mate. I think it's PlayStation. I've got nothing coming up on my friends list. Yeah, I reckon so. I've got nothing. Everybody's getting problems. Andy can't even join the session.
None of us. We're all struggling to get friends lists. It sounds to me like a PlayStation issue.
Yeah, something's wrong with it.
Well, I'll check Twitter and see if anyone's put anything on there for PlayStation.
Give me a break, Chief, for fuck's sake, man. Just because.
Tell him why he's back in a minute.
I am. Just because GT3s went all nice and smoothly doesn't mean you can stress me out for touring cars.
Yeah, but different game, innit?
Okay, now apparently I'm no longer in a party, but I am, because I can hear you lot.
Yeah, we can hear you as well.
What the hell is going on? Apparently I'm not in a party. Apparently there are no parties I can join. Is this... What
That's PlayStation.
the fuck?
That is PlayStation.
Have you turned your PlayStation off?
Let me try.
Turn it on and off a minute. It's going to be a while before I can get anyone in.
PlayStation services. Nothing. Here's PSN down. Twitter.
I've checked Twitter and there's nothing on it at all.
Okay, I'm on this website here. It says user report for Down Detector, it's called.
Oh yeah, Down Detector.
And then all of a sudden there's no reports of anything, couple of reports here and there, and then all of a sudden 8 PM 195 reports.
Fucking hell.
9 baseline.
PlayStation issue.
It's happened to me and Andy the other day and we couldn't load anything up. It took us like 2 minutes just to load up a fucking name for Formula 1.
Oh yeah, it was shit on Friday, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah, G's told me if we can't get it going, we'll have to cancel the event.
What, put us in postpone it and move it to end of the season?
It?
Might have to postpone it. If we can get everyone in, we'll have to do a short sprint race.
We can't get Andy in for a start.
Knock it down to 50. Why not keep the 25 and just knock a bit off the feature?
I
Yeah, that'd be better, wouldn't it?
Or just do a feature with double points.
Yeah. But there is a huge report of outages down in London. You know, half of Scotland's pretty clear. There's a red dot just above Manchester.
PlayStation Network, innit, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm saying, but I need a new graphics card for mine to work. To be fair, mate, it's more than just graphics card, it's motherboard, it's fucking everything.
Anything on the title screen now, like fucking...
On what? Change the racing and stuff?
Yeah, fucking... it's stressing me out.
It says you're still in the lobby.
No, I'm in the lobby, it's just like, I couldn't press nothing.
Ah, right, okay.
2062, I'm having to write the names in one by one.
It was you that was saying about the PC map, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's when I play my games. Like I sorted it out the other day, thought it was an hard drive issue, sorted it all out, and then put Football Manager back on. The minute I turned Football Manager on, my PC frozen. I thought, well, it's not fucking hard drive. I bought a brand new one, bought a brand new SSD. It's definitely not that.
No.
And I don't know what I'm fucking doing with.
Well, I have RAM, CPU, motherboard, fan, graphics card, everything.
Yeah, I'm waiting for some RAM off my fucking brother, but he's been a dick about something at the minute. He's moving arse, and I've said, well, just take your time, I'm not bothered about it. And then he's losing his head with me, and it's like, fucking, mate, I've said, I'm not bothered. Just when you move arse.
Can someone invite Andy in?
Yeah, I'll try. Right.
This PlayStation being
I think most of
I don't get it. It doesn't load my old friends list, but it'll load the players in the party list.
Nah, we'll finish too early. Fuck's sake.
Well, there's nothing we can do if we finish too early, as long as we get to fucking race.
put the fucking snow on, that'll slow them down.
Snow round Thruxton, it's normally red hot and tyres are popping, Kelly. One extreme to other. Blizzard.
Right, for some reason I can't find John Boy now on my friends list. Is it loading up quicker now? No.
The website's still saying everything's,
everything's hunky dory.
Right, it's loading quicker now, but not super quick.
Oh, there's John Boy in.
Right, we're just missing Andy now.
Yeah.
I've sent Andy in.
Come on, Andy.
I know this is going nowhere. I know it's not going to get me in. I know it already.
Hey!
Oh my fucking god! Oh my fucking god! Woo!
Jesus Christ.
Go!
In the last half hour, that shot up to 265.
I can't start. I can't do anything on the screen.
Ah, fuck.
Everyone ready up.
We've got it. It's gone up. Just shot up to 265 reports have gone in now about the PlayStation services.
Ouch. No, fuck it, I'm having
right. Okay. I'm gonna go in game chat and tell these lot there won't be a practice session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. 20 minutes. We'll do a 20-minute session. Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good. Fuck's sake, why did I have to do it now?
Well, maybe it did it 3 o'clock last Tuesday, but we weren't racing then, were we?
Yeah.
I notice this every week. Every Wednesday and Thursday.
Matt's the one on the PlayStation 24 hours a day, aren't you, Matt?
Yeah, mate. Honestly, no. No, but seriously, like when I go to set sim play up, every practice session in the week, fine. Everything else, fine. The minute it comes to a Wednesday, Thursday night, then you get the problems, and it's like, yeah, fucking bastard.
Sod's law.
It's like somebody at PlayStation sitting on their computer waiting for the time to come up for our time, our races, and like time to fuck our shit up.
They're all subscribed. They're all subscribed to our channels. And, Motive going live tier 1 touring cars. Push this button. No, you fucking not.
Yeah.
Motive are doing well tonight. Fuck that. I'm gonna fuck their shit up.
Yep.
I bet it's because I finished in a decent fucking spot tonight and decided, no, you're not going to get another decent spot tonight, you bastard. Sit where the fuck you are.
There's somebody sitting in a big room at PlayStation HQ with a giant big red button in front of them that says, do not press. And every time it sees us come up, he presses it.
Yeah.
Get out, you bastards.
Oh, it's whenever you put a big red button in front of a man, he's going to press it anyway.
Absolutely.
All I can say is I understand how people go fucking crazy. This is how people go fucking crazy. It's because of shit like this.
What, for loading PlayStations is why people go crazy, is it?
I never go crazy, but I understand how people do.
We may as well be playing on PS1.
Fucking missed Lauder, didn't I? Right, hopefully he jumps in pretty quick.
For God's sake, Dan.
Fucking hell.
I'm fucking trying here, boys.
Hey, listen, nobody's going to die. Let's just all chill.
That, man. Yeah. Have a smoke, have a wank, have a drink, whatever you want.
Lodders
well, I've done all that, so what am I going to do now?
I'm not going to blow my head before the race.
Now I've picked up a crossword. Will that help?
No, you can twiddle your balls for a wee bit, you know.
Do my what? Twiddle my what?
Balls.
Twiddle your balls. Keep the day interesting.
30, right.
My cat, they're too fucking big.
Overcompensating much?
No. Huge balls, small cock.
G's about to go live, so that's it. Thank God for that.
It ain't over yet.
You're gonna have to reread the order.
I didn't read the order out, so I only did championship standings.
I told them the order in the game chat, but obviously I don't know if it's going to be muted.
I'm at the back. It's quite easy to remember.
Yeah, you're at the back.
Someone in Matt or Dad read the grid order.
Yeah,
out.
I've got it up in front of me.
Cool.
If Smokey was here, he'd probably be trying to go to the back. He'd be like, oh, everyone go past me.
Yeah.
Oh God, he's in tier 2. Fuck me.
I have read the grid terms, so I should know where they are.
Come on, dude, tell me when we're live.
I'm gonna have to do a recalculation of fuel now.
Oh shit, yeah. Sure,
I'm gonna put 17 in.
I'm putting 35 litres. That fucks me up, then fuck it.
I'm doing 35 as well.
Whoops.
Come on, G. Live. Welcome back then. Apologies about that PlayStation Network going down and being a little bit annoying for us all in this one, as Dan's managed to miraculously get the server back up. We've managed to get Andy in. We've got all 4 drivers back on the grid, and me and Kelly are here as well. I'm going to run you through the order very quickly. It's the Greek that will start on pole with Poteneep second place. Fiore will line up third with Gary 131 P4. Nick the Villa will start in fifth with WSRCJ in 6th. Lodder 7th. Emo Guy in 8th. Unorthodox will start P9. Xmart 10th. Delore 11th. John Boy 12th. Laney P13. And Andy, our championship leader, will start at the back of the grid.
We've lost Andy again.
I've pressed the button on my controller and I'm suddenly not there. I don't know what's going on.
So we've
Project Cars 2
more technical problems.
I don't know if it was something I pressed or if it was. I don't know what's just happened. I don't know what's just happened. I pressed the button on my controller and it's kicked me out. What the fuck? What's going on?
Well, we did have Andy in the session. We've no longer got Andy in this session.
Championship leader out of this one with technical problems. Looks like across the board problems with the PlayStation Network. which is hugely unfortunate. I feel for Andy. It's like a Perez moment, just as he was lining up to the grid. That was a topical one, wasn't it?
That was a very topical one.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
What a horrible moment for Andy as well, Kelly, to now leading the championship and not be able to get in for the first race. Hopefully PlayStation Network get their acting gear and get this all sorted before the second race. We are shortening the sprint race. Gary is down in P7, who needs to be up in P4 here. There's a lot of kerfuffle on the grid. I'm just looking. The Greek, Popeneep, Fury. Fury's not even meant to be third, is he? Out? Fury's third. Gary, Nick the Villa, Lauder. No, WSRC needs ahead of Lauder. Lauder needs P7. Delora 11.
And now we're losing you, Matt. We're getting very interrupted. Very all bit Norman Collier. That was a Target reference. For those of you who didn't know what I was on about, Google it. Norman Collier. You'll get what I'm on about. You still there, Matt?
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Oh, here we go. That's better.
Oh, there. I tell you what, PlayStation need to get this sorted because I don't know what is going off.
Yeah,
Something's
it could
happening.
Be a crazy night tonight. We apologise.
They didn't pay the connection bill.
They didn't pay the connection.
Yeah, well, another 50p in a metre. There's another Target reference for those who have no idea what I'm talking about. But yeah, PlayStation Network playing around a lot tonight, so we apologise for the things that are out of our control this evening. We hope it doesn't spoil your entertainment too much. Silverstone Classic is where we are. This configuration used in the 1948 British Grand Prix, first Grand Prix ever, was on this configuration. Very fast track, only a couple of corners. We're calling it Thruxton to be in line with our mimicking the British Touring Car Championships. As we just come round into the chicane.
Shall we use a Thruxton corner names?
We could, but the only one I can think of off the top of my head is Church.
Don't worry, I've got them. I've got all them in front of me as well as we are underway here at Thruxton. And as we come in towards turn one, then the Greek leads us away, and that is Fury, who's looking to make some moves on Popeneep into turn one, and indeed does so. And Popeneep's round and has caught another one. Oh, and straight into Emo Guy as well. There's a Colossus incident there, and a load of cords. Dan, Laney, Popeneep, Lauder, Emo Guy, all getting caught up in this, and this has allowed the Greek Fury WSR to all get away here. What a crazy start, Kelly.
Yes, indeed. I thought it would be. I wasn't expecting that many cars to go round in turn one, but yeah, carnage in the first one. That certainly helped Gary. Look, he's still in fourth place in that BMW, and this pack has been able to pull away a bit from Dan. Seems to be in seventh, flashing his lights for something. I don't know if he's flashing his lights.
Slow down penalty maybe, letting the car behind Laney through. He's had a slow down penalty he's got, and he's flashing to say that he's slowing down, don't get my slipstream sort of thing. I wonder, as Laney then moves up into P7 in this race already, and a disastrous start. WSRC, look at this, and Gary having a cracking battle here. So is Fury and the Greek just up in front here as they're coming round towards the final couple of corners in what would be Brooklands corner out of Church. He is out wide, very wide, but ultimately Andy's got the inside line for the first part of the chicane, the club chicane.
Heavy braking into the chicane as you see Fury. Gets sideways. He's collected it back up again and got it moving in a straight line. That's all worked out.
Gary!
Gary going very sideways. Then putting himself under pressure from Gary and WSRJ. They're going to pounce on him with that BMW. I was just watching. Yeah, look, sideways all the way around the corner. Then has to try and correct it on the way out. I'm afraid I think Gary and Dan are going to really struggle in the two BMWs this evening, that's for certain sure. So it's Fury out in front at the moment. We know Fury's quick. We've talked about his consistency being an issue.
And
the Greek drops it. That's how easy it is, Matt. See how easy that was.
Wheel on the grass as the car's sliding, Kelly, and that's it. And not ultimately, like you say, because it's such a fast-flowing track here, look at how many positions he's lost. He was P2, he's now down in P7, and he's a whole... Where is he on the track? The Greek, he's now 4.5 seconds off the back. But Gary, this man's inherited the race lead, and he's had a few battles with Fury this season. Can he pull away from John Boy and get back on the back of Fury in this one, as they've just come round what would be Stowe Corner in towards Club at Silverstone then?
Yeah. Yes, indeed, exactly right. And Gary playing the Jarno Trulli game tonight. He is the mobile chicane. I can see them all stacking up behind him. He's going to defend for his life because the rest of them are going to be quick behind him. And see how Fury's dropped now, second half away from Gary, and Gary's got John Boy all over the back of him, and the reigning champion.
But look at how slidey all three of them was through the chicane. The McGanns sort of copied each other there. I was waiting for Gary's rear end to step out. He kept it in check, and the three McGanns lost the rear end. But well done, hats off to them for keeping it in line.
Absolutely, that last chicane, Matt, I'm telling you, honestly, you've got to go in it, slow down and straight. You've got to get all your braking done before you go in there. If you're too aggressive, it will kick out, and then honestly, a wheel over those curves either way, and it's a slowdown as well. So
John Boy's under a bit of pressure here as well, Kelly, from Exmart. As you see, the McGanns again getting that rear end sliding out doesn't seem to have hurt them in terms of the momentum on the back of Gary 131. There is now Exmart, John Boy, Laney and Delore. Sorry, WSR and Laney all on the back of Gary 131. He's still got about the same gap. He's lost a tenth to Fury here as Exmart's up the inside of John Boy. Can he get it done into Stowe corner? Oh, and John Boy's very, very sideways. Tokyo Drift at its best and manages to hang on in there. And he's not really lost that much speed going sideways pretty much.
No, there's a lot of sideways in these McGanns, but it's reasonably difficult to lose them all by yourself. You know, it'll step out, but you can usually catch it. It's what you lose while you're sliding is the issue. There's a couple of those corners, ones we just went through there's a couple of those corners that are flat out corners, but if you get up on the curb, it will destabilise the car and put the back end out again. And we see again John Boy fighting through the chicane.
Oh, Gary's wide. Not only is he wide, bit of a slide there, and I feel that if Exmart wasn't alongside him there, Kelly, that Gary 131 would have been round fully, but Exmart being there kind of just straightened Gary back up a little bit, and the action, all these cars slipping and sliding around this Silverstone Classic Thruxton circuit here. Gary is not got any pace. Look, I mean, his last lap was relatively similar to John Boy and Laney's, but he's just being smothered by four McGanns here.
Yes, indeed. No one of them got round him yet, to be fair. He's still keeping his nose in front from all these guys. And as you say, they're all lining up behind him. Look, a whole gaggle of McGanns right up behind Gary. But Gary's keeping it moving in a straight line. This is helping Fury, of course, to get away.
Oh, there goes Exmart. Oh, massive. Did he get a tap there, Kelly?
I don't know, but he's still going across the grass. He's managed to find his way back to the track and only dropped down to 6, which is considering he's seen just about every part of the track on the infield. But he's not lost too much with that. It has kind of split the pack up a little bit. Give Gary some breathing space for a moment. I was going to say that the penalties are starting to get handed out. WSRJ's got one, and Exmart's got one as well. So
Gary's wide. Gary's wide. Nascav Lane in the run coming in towards the chicane.
Dan went off.
So it's still Gary has lost the place to Laney. Laney again all out of shape across the chicane both ways. Look, that McGann struggles, and Gary's got a run
WSRC in the background,
properly sideways. As we see, Gary's going to put some pressure on Laney. Hats off to Gary. He's making this thing move forward, but it's a handful for sure.
It definitely seems to be a handful at the moment. Gary is, like you said a moment ago, a bit of a Liano Trulli, a mobile chicane here, but is now tucked into that slipstream of Laney. And the fact he's got a slipstream is not making Laney drop him here, as he's going to try and look to the outside, maybe get the cut back. Laney's too good, though, to let Gary get that cut back there. Although, is he? Because Gary has got a bit of a run on him coming down towards what is now the hanger straight. Nowadays, they lean on each other coming through the corner as they both slide through. In race reports there, Emo guy said that Dan on Orthodubs down to P12, so he's had an off at some stage of this race. But Gary on the outside of Laney at the moment as they come in towards what was Stowe. Gary again looking for that undercut as both cars slide out wide, and has Gary got the momentum through Stowe in towards Club this time to get that move done as he's heading down now. He's got the inside line. Tell you what, that BMW's done well to keep up with Laney here, Kelly, and has done well to get back in front.
He has indeed. Look at it, it's a complete handful, mind you. So are the McGanns, to be fair, but Gary fighting with this BMW, and I said that they would go backwards. To give you an idea, Dan in the other BMW is in 12th and 18 seconds off the lead now. We understand he's had a couple of offs, but this BMW is struggling. Seems to be a better car in the wets.
Yeah.
I think,
big twitch for Gary there. Huge twitch for Gary. Mid-chicane then, as he was just trying to straighten the car up for the final part of it. Laney will sail past him, but Gary can tuck back into the slipstream. This, Kelly, is really helping Fury out with a bit of a shorter sprint race tonight. 9 minutes left on the clock. Fury has got a massive 2.8 second lead over the Eastern one. While ever Gary can keep with Laney and put Laney under some pressure, Fury has got clear road in front of him. And we spoke about him in the past, consistency being Fury's arch nemesis. At the moment, so far so good.
Yes, and I'm reluctant to go on board with him, to be fair, because I want to talk about him too much, because I would like to see Fury's consistency improve and him have a clean race. So I don't want to talk about him too much. So let's see what else is going on the track. We've got John Boy is coming up behind Emo Guy. Delore is fighting out with WSRJ. He's just passed him down on the straight. If you can get a good drive out of these corners, Matt, it benefits you all the way down the straight on these on this track. So getting the exit on the corner is just as important as getting in an apex. If you can get a good run out, you can really make some time up. As we can see, Delore is dropping Jay. Where's Xmart after his spin? He's coming up behind.
He's behind the Greek.
Both these guys have been off track at least once, we know. Xmart, reigning British Touring Car Champion, with a lot of work to do to make some good out of this. He's fighting with the Greek, and quite close company indeed. Let's see as they come down to the chicane what Mark can do about it. Heavy in the braking zone, and
crucially, Kelly, just looking at the timing screens here, Laney's now a good half a second, if not 6-7 tenths in front of Gary. So that move's done and completed. 7-8 tenths in front. He's hunting Fury down now. The gap coming down to 1 point. Gap coming down to 1.8 seconds.
Sorry, John Boyce is the fastest man on the track, but the only other person in the third is Laney. So Laney's now forgetting about Gary. It's Gary who to Laney.
Yeah, exactly.
He's looking at Fury. He's got his sights set on Fury. Little battle lining up towards the back here by the looks of it. We've got Lauder, Nick De Villa, and
Xmart and the Greek.
Xmart. Yeah, these guys have come up on the back of Xmart and the Greek really quite quickly. So we've got a bit of a four-way tussle as we see.
Oh, look at that. That's Nick De Villa. Nick De Villa making a good move on the Greek. The Greek looked like he had a very strange exit down onto the straight there, as he got a bit of a wiggle on coming through the final part of that complex onto the straight. Lost 2 places to Nick De Villa and Lauder. Relatively straightforward and easy as well. So the Greeks struggling with the handling of that car at the moment, but now Lauder and Nick De Villa can get their sights on Xmart just up in front of them. They've got a bit of a gap back, about 5 seconds back to Emo Guy in P6, but at the moment these four keeping it relatively on the circuit and relatively in close quarters as well so far.
Yes indeed, and I was going to go on board with somebody, try and get an idea of this. There we go, we're on with Nick De Villa as he comes through the chicane.
I've lost my timing screen, Kelly.
That'll be probably my bad. Bear with me, Matt. Where are those timings? And
there we go.
That one. That's the one. Right, okay. On board with Xmart at the moment, as I don't know where we are on the track now.
Coming up to turn 2.
Coming up to turn 3, 2, whichever you want to call it. Turn 2 is a flat scat, so turn 2, turn 3. This is a tricky one. Late apex on this one, easy to go wide. Another one, this one here is flat, this left-hander, but if you touch a curb, it'll kick you out wide. You need a progressive left to right across that one. Move it back towards the right-hand side, which Xmart has done very, very quickly. Another big braking zone. Back end will go light, you see it there. Try and keep it to the apex without going up on those curbs, because you'll get a slowdown, and try not to run wide. Easy to run wide. Short spurt to the next right-hander. Again, similar kind of corner. Try and pick up the apex. See the back end sliding. He's corrected all the way through. Goes a little bit wide on the grass. We're down. What do we hang a straight now? Flat scat again through here, but don't touch the curb. As you can see, the back end stepping out again. Underneath the bridge and into the coming up to what would be the complex in years to come, but it's here as a chicane. We see someone go down the inside. A couple of guys go down the inside.
John Boy, that's Nick De Villa and Lauder coming up his inside.
And Xmart was caught napping a little bit there as he goes through the chicane to complete another lap.
He does. That was the Woodcote complex now as they're coming towards Cops Corner for this 10th time in this race. 4 minutes remaining, and Laney has just taken the race lead. Fury as well has a time penalty to his name, but Laney's just taken this race lead, Kelly. So I'm not sure what's happened to Fury, but a time penalty, and he's giving the race lead to Laney as well. And if Gary's within the time that Fury's got, then Gary could be promoted to P2. We'll have to keep our eyes on here. He's only got 1 second, says Emo Guy. So at the minute, Gary out of that 1 second mark as Fury's looking to fight back with Laney here. But also, I was noting when you was on board Xmart there, WSR, Emo Guy, Delory and John Boy in a good little 4-way battle as Jay's pulled away a little bit from these guys. And Emo Guy's got Delory hassling the back of him like mad here as they come through what is Stowe Corner and down this short straight towards Club. These four, cracking little battle. Jay just in front of the three of them. But he's in this battle as quick as you know. They'll be on the back of him like a rash.
Yes, indeed. And again, as you say, Delore here in this fight with John Boy, with Emo Guy. They're all in this. So this is the best fight on the grid right at the moment. Bad day for the Davis family. Tier 2, sorry. There was one Davis, myself, at the back of the grid, and another one at the back of the grid. Today we're with
I tell you what,
Daniel
sorry Kelly,
last.
Jay got a horrible run through the chicane, and look at the run that Delore's got. He's gone past all of them there up the inside. Has he got Jay done? No, him and Emo Guy just lean on each other, and Delore, I think he bounced off the curb into the side of Emo Guy there, Kelly. That curb's quite high off the track, so if you hit it, it does bounce you off it. I think he's really hit the curb there and bounced into the side of Emo Guy. Ultimately that he gained 3 places and lost all 3 places as quick as that. And John Boy's now up the inside of WRSCJ as they head down. Delore then's been stripped off the back of this trio now. It's down to 3 cars with 2 minutes 16 remaining, and Laney out front has just got his head down and gone.
Yes, indeed. I think Delore was being a little bit greedy there, trying to make up some more track. You were quite right. That turn 1 curb. That turn 1 curb is absolutely. It's huge, really high.
Yeah.
So you get up on it, it will destabilise the car and throw you out, which Delore did, and it happened that Emo Guy happened to be there as he was being spat out the other side. So
I'll tell you what we're seeing here, Kelly, is Jay's having a cracking race this week. He looked really good. We saw him at Brands Hatch struggle a bit. Donington, he seemed to do all right. He's losing the rear. And I tell you what, Emo Guy there, whew, bit of a brown pants moment there as Jay span right in front of him. And what reaction times from Emo Guy there to make sure that he didn't go into the back of him but maintain on the back of John Boy, then losing just a slight bit of time. Somebody's clattered into the tyre wall, not sure who that is, but WSRJ then he's dropped down to P7, and is he gonna he's lost out to the Greek as well. In fact, now he's down to P10, P11. Wow, really struggled. One mistake, look, and he's gone from 4th and 5th down to P11.
Commentator's curse working perfectly this evening, nothing wrong with that. As soon as you start saying about how fantastic a day that Jay was having, back he goes to second to last with that horrible. And that was exactly what I was saying, Matt. You get up on that curb and just takes the back end away from you. You want to stay well away from the curbs on these little fast left-handers coming onto Hanger Straight, and the other one, wherever that is, they're a very...
This one's the Hanger Straight now.
Yeah, well, that one, just as you come into Hanger Straight, if you touch that, you're off. Incidentally, Fury has caught back up to Laney.
Oh, he has indeed, and he's really hassling the back of him now.
Look at the lap times.
Indeed, Fury 3/10 quicker. So Laney not having it all his own way here. Shame that Fury's picked up that time penalty, Kelly, because this could be a cracking sprint to the line as we've got 12 seconds left. Fury's going to look round the outside. Is he going to make that move stick? No, can't get it done there. Lap. They are just going to make another lap as well. They cross the line now, so one more to go here. And for Fury, what a shame he's got the time penalty, because he's clearly, again, 2/10 quicker than Laney last time around. So Laney not having it all his own way at the moment. Gary, 1.3 seconds slower than Fury last lap. And I don't think Gary may have made a mistake on that lap. I just think that's the pace of the BMW.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that is its pace, is the 132s. Dan struggling down at the bottom in the 139s. Don't know what's going on. We haven't seen much of him. He's had an horrendous race. I know the feeling, boy. Don't worry about it. But we're on the last lap here now, and Fury is hunting Laney down. Fury driving a cracking race this evening, done nothing wrong tonight.
No.
You know, mind you, it's early days. We've got a feature race to go yet, so early days for Fury, but we want to see him do well, don't we? We know the boy's got pace.
The thing is, Kelly, as well, is this will give him so much confidence and momentum going into that feature race that Fury's head will be held really high, and the fact he's able to fight Laney is will just do his confidence even more the world of good, because he's putting the pressure on a guy that is super quick. And hats off to Fury here. He is driving a spectacular race. Dropped Gary, did everything he needed to early, and he's doing what he needs to here. If he didn't get that time penalty, we could be saying this going into the final chicane for the race win.
Yes, you're quite right, we could. But it looks like he isn't going to be able to match Laney unless Laney makes a mistake over the line. But it doesn't look like he's going to. So it's going to be Laney is going to take or has taken the sprint race win. Fury comes in second. Gary, stellar effort, to be fair.
Yeah. Stellar
effort in that Beamer. Look at it going sideways. He manages to take third place. Fourth place is going to be Delore after some pushing and shoving. John Boy comes in fifth. Emo guy in sixth. Nick the Villa is oh, look at that bit of drift in there from Nick the Villa. He's going to come in seventh. X Mart's going to come in. He's actually going to come in.
X Mart's going to get eighth. The Greek, the Greek's got seventh place. X Mart eighth, and Nick the Villa down to ninth on time penalties. Lodder, wow, Jay's car. Look at that.
Yeah, poor old Jay.
Lodder got crossed the line P10, but lost out on time penalties to Jay. Oh, and Dan. Yeah, Dan's car doesn't look great, does it?
He's trying to make that into a 1 Series. Look, it looks like he's smashed in the back end. Trying to make it into a 1 Series hatchback is Dan, I think.
Yeah, shorter wheelbase, I reckon.
With a 3 Series, is he?
No, clearly struggling. And Dan may have made a few mistakes in this race. We haven't seen much of Dan, but look, it's him struggling to get through the chicane there.
Yeah.
But again, I think the BMW is going to struggle here. Oh, he's drifting. There we go. We're going to take a very short break here at Motive. Don't go anywhere, guys. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. We'll be right back in 2 seconds with the feature race.
How many laps did we do?
Where are hang on. 13. But obviously one of them was parade lap, so 12.
I'll go to Luminate.
Yep, same here.
Reckon that'll be 21 then.
Man, I don't know what happened at the start there.
The BMW is not good. And laps time were about 1:32s.
Because I was doing low one, I could do low 1 minute 30s. What, fucking disconnected.
That car was fucking unreal.
That start was horrible.
Handled like a fucking pig. Touched one curb and that was it. I was in the fucking wall.
Well, I was the same.
I'm back, boys, don't worry.
Oh, yeah, you just made it for me. Hey, good news, Matt.
What's that, mate?
Bought tickets for Donington Park.
Oh, yeah! I'm booking mine when I get paid, hopefully.
Hey?
I'll be booking mine when I get paid next month.
Yep, all booked up. Me and Dan and the missus are all going. So
yes.
For
the day
or... We've got to
or...
have a sim party, haven't we?
Weekend or the day?
Weekend.
Were you camping? Or hotel or...
well, I don't know where the camping is on site, but on site. I think I've got a track for you.
Yeah, you're on the infield. Oh, I tell you
what.
on
the infield, is it?
Yeah, I could have saved you a bit of money there.
How?
There's a campsite literally right outside Donington's main gate.
Yeah.
Like a 5-minute walk from the main gate. It's a lot cheaper.
It probably is, yeah. The camping at Donny is...
Oh, well.
Thank you. The camping at Donny is definitely a lot dearer than Thruxton.
Yeah, the campsite just outside it. It's like campsite slash hotel.
Right.
We camp there because it's a lot cheaper than the one at Donny. For electric hookup and everything as well, but yeah.
You are actually a bunch of lucky bastards. You have all those tracks down there.
All those tracks down there? You're having a laugh, aren't you? It's 400 miles from me.
Hey, I've got the only track we've got up here is fucking
Where's your closest track? What's your closest track in?
Knockhill, that's probably about 6-7 hours away from me.
Yeah? Wow, you really are up north, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, our home track is Thruxton, and that's 300 miles away.
Mine's Donny, and it's about 45 minutes away in a car.
Oh, yeah, whatever. we're lucky to have tarmac on the roads here.
Hey, it's a 2-hour bike ride for me, mate, but he fell at it for Mazda, races on a Thursday. It's a 2-hour bike ride for him. But when he's about 10 minutes away from campsite, he falls off his bike and ends up in A&E.
You guys ready?
Yeah, ready.
Yeah, I'm ready, Dan.
Is Andy back in? Yeah, he's Andy.
Yeah, I'm here, I'm ready.
He's here.
Oi.
Right, let's go.
Oi.
That race seemed to be over so quick.
It's a shorter sprint.
It's very short.
Sorry, it's a shorter feature. 18 laps, pit window is 6.
Pit window 6.
How long qualified?
15 minutes.
15 minutes, righto.
I'm not looking forward to this.
No, I wouldn't be if I was you.
What happened in your first race, Dan?
Car's shit.
Yeah, we thought it might be in these on round here.
Gary's not fast, I'm not fast. I can't keep the thing in a straight line. As soon as I touch a curb, it spins. It's a joke. So.
Yeah.
But hey, I've altered the season and changed the weather, so there's going to be more wet races. So it's leveled out the playing field for the BMW.
Oh, you cheat. Dan,
no.
It looks wet for Thursday, by the way, mate.
Yes. Love the rain.
Raining in New Zealand, imagine that. Don't do that very often.
Right, I'm going to join the group part.
Yeah, best luck, mate.
Yeah, do it.
Go in there because I'll probably end up swearing. So good luck, boys.
Right, you are.
So the problem with not having Gene here is you don't know when you're live.
No. Just guess. You got the stream on with you as well?
Yeah, I've texted him.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, to the second half of this race. Kelly, what a very, very quick first race. We've got a bit of a short feature race for you as well here, due to the PSN problems we have been having, so apologies for that. Down to 12 runners here, a couple of guys not in the session. We have lost a few of them. Who is one of them? Lodder has gone. Hopefully we can get him back in, and I'm just trying to work out the other one. And I can't work out the other one. John Boy, Gary, X-Mark, Nick the Villa, Andy, the Greek, Fury, Delore, WSR, no Fury, WSR, Laney. Who?
2 seconds, I'll see if I can have a look for the.
Well, Lodder's definitely missing because I've seen that one come off, but we are missing someone else as well in this one. But we have got Andy back. Pokeneep.
Yeah,
Pokeneep is
in the last race. Yeah.
Right. So that's why we're down to 12 then, but we have got Andy back in this session, and let's hope this time, Kelly, he can get going, because Championship Leader needs to get a pole position and needs to score some good points here to make up for what he's just lost.
Absolutely, he needs a cracker here, does Andy, so let's hope he's not too frustrated, let's hope he stays cool, and the earlier frustrations are not getting in, because I know he was wound up by it. Let's hope he can keep his cool, get his head down and get some good lap times, because we need him near the sharp end. He's Championship Leader. He was the man last year who had four race wins in a season. Yeah, and couldn't translate it into a championship win. So
and already this year has got 2 race wins to his name.
Yeah.
A 2nd and a 4th place, and a DNS, a did not start to his name as well. So yeah, he needs to convert these wins in, as that bit of lag would indicate to me that we've got someone back in. Lodder is back in the session, so it's good to see him in here. One thing, hopefully Andy, I just want to say quickly, hopefully he's done a bit of yoga, you know, just a bit of meditation while that first race was happening, just to calm himself down and get himself in the zone for this one. One thing I will say about the last race is hats off to Gary keeping that BMW. What Dan was saying off air about the BMW, undrivable was pretty much a short description of what he was saying, with a few less expletives as well. Undrivable. Not just him. He's apparently Gary said the same thing to him in the in-game chat. So the fact he got a P3, massive hats off to him for that one.
Absolutely, it's they're all having the Valtteri Bottas's today. The two BMW drivers screaming and shouting that the car is undrivable. But swings and roundabouts, they had choices as well as everybody else. And these BMWs will come into their own.
I will say, Kelly, when you watch the British touring cars, you don't tend to see the BMWs do so well around the Thruxton circuit. It is normally your Hondas, your Fords, your front-wheel drive cars that do. You know, how many times have you seen, whether it be Adam Morgan in the Mercedes or Rory Butcher in his Motorbase or Matt Neal and Shedden or Dan Camish, whoever, in the Honda, you know, whether it's the Halfords team, the BTC Norlin team, winning the races, and the BMWs and the rear-wheel drive cars seem to struggle a bit and just settle for more points. But then when you get to Croft in the British touring cars, it's roles reversed, because Turkington in the BMW is the king of Croft, and the Hondas and the Fords can't do anything.
Absolutely. So it swings and roundabouts, and it's going to be exactly the same. We know the BM is strong in wet conditions. We know we've got some good British weather coming for the rest of the season. So these cars will be strong in the wet. So it swings and roundabouts. These boys, just got to suck it up and get the best points that they can. In these tricky meetings.
And this is what this is why me and you love the British touring cars, is not every track suits that car. And we're going to come to meetings later in this season when we get to like Alton Park and Snetterton, where the BMW may shine, and may shine brightly as well. These kind of tracks, damage imitation, take the points you can, get on with it. And we see that in the real world as well in the British touring cars. The guys know what tracks they've got to get points on and what tracks they've got to be strong on and get podiums and wins.
Absolutely right, Matt, and it's such a shame that we haven't got a little bit more choice on project cars in the touring car. Although primarily this game isn't set up for touring cars. The choices, we know the Merc is poor, and we know the Astra is horrendous around all the tracks. So really, the only choices you've got are the Renault and the BMW, and I put it out there to anybody who hasn't had a go at this or keeps playing GT3 in the lobbies or whatever. Come and have a go. If you think you can drive a bit, come and have a go in the Megane.
Chuck your son in a touring car and see what you can do. I agree with that comment there, Kelly.
Yes, indeed. And if you think you can drive the Megane, and then if you think you can really drive, pick the BMW. Because it is a complete handful. Although we see Gary is improving on his times, although he is tumbling down the order.
You said race one, Kelly. You think the BMW is only capable of a 32. Dan in the 33s, Gary a 32.8. I agree with your comments. I think that is all the BMW is capable of around this circuit, especially without a bit of a slipstream. You could really do with a slipstream down this hanger straight, where Delore is at the moment, and Gary doesn't have that opportunity. Delore slightly up on his time, 6/10 on provisional pole at the minute, and up on his current delta. Kelly, who's going to get pole, do you reckon, in this one?
Well, yeah, it's good. I mean, I was just looking at Fury. Fury's going well again. Look, third at the moment, 8/10 off the ultimate pace. But Fury's going well, and he's going to have the bit between his teeth as well. To be honest, I'm gonna pick Andy as an outside bet for pole on this one.
Do you know what? I'm going to go outside with Fury.
Fair enough.
I feel Fury. He matched Delaney's pace at the end of that last race. I'm going to give Fury an outside shot at pole position here. I think he is pretty much capable. As look, Gary's pretty much causing a bit of a traffic jam here again. He's got Laney on the back of him, and then he's got Fury behind Laney. So let's see what's going to happen. But Lore on provisional pole. Gary 2/10 up, well, nearly 3/10 up. It's not going to get him out of the 32s as Dan's gone above Gary into a 32.8. Andy's gone up into P3, 6/10 off a pole. And the last 2 weeks, Kelly, we've seen grids in qualifying which have been separated, top 13, 14 separated by a second. Here, the top 4 are separated by a second, as Laney's just improved to a 130 dead.
Are we going to see the 129s in this session? That would be nice, because Laney and Delore are knocking on that door in the very early 130s at the moment. So hopefully they can just squeeze a bit out. We'll see a 29. Yeah, that would be interesting. The two Beamers still going backwards, although they're improving lap for lap. They're still going backwards. Gary and Dan still very close company in 10th and 11th, but I think they're going to struggle to have anything much more out of that BMW tonight.
The only thing we're going to see out of the BMW is a good start off the line, and we know it gets a good start off the line from last week at Donington, when they was both by the back of the grid and ended up 3rd and 4th and 5th by the end of lap 1, I do believe. Cracking start from both drivers, so let's keep our eyes out for that one. And Kelly, 13 drivers last week separated by a second, and at Brands Hatch. Here, not to be the case, top 5 separated by a second. So it clearly shows that this kind of track, with the track limits and the fact that it can disqualify a time, as Andy's just improved but not good enough to take him anywhere other than P3, with the track limits invalidating your lap times and being on the edge of top speed corners and stuff, you've really got to be on it on this circuit. We're seeing that in the lap times with fewer guys being within that second.
I think it's really interesting that we throw up some races that are out of major or most people's comfort zone. We saw that on Simplay on Thursday night with Bathurst, you know, and those who knew the track went well. Those who didn't. And you know, I've got to call it Thruxton Silverstone Classic. Silverstone Classic is one of those tracks that doesn't get raced so often. It's not your Spa or your Imola or your Monza.
Me and you had this conversation off air at Simplay, didn't we, on Thursday night, that anybody can turn up to Silverstone and Monza or Spa and race well, but can you do it on these tracks that you don't see online lobbies on?
Absolutely, and we had Ruda Easter last year on the touring car calendar, which again, anybody who's got this game and plays it regularly or whatever, Ruda Easter is a crazy track that a lot of people don't touch or don't even think about. You know, I mean, I've had this game for years, as the rest of us. It's a 2017 game, and I've probably had it for all those years. You know, and there's still tracks that I discover and think, I've tried that, I've done that, you know. So, you know, I love it when we bring some of these up. And I know some of the tracks don't support us doing the championship. You can't put enough cars on the grid. Some don't even have pit lanes. So
like Knockhill. Knockhill only supports up to 12 cars, not the 16. So unfortunately, we can't run it. A shame, but it is what it. Oh, could you imagine the racing round there?
Track. Would be
fantastic
so
circuit. It'd have to rain. You'd have to make it rain as well. You couldn't have it sunny.
Of course you would.
Couldn't have it sunny.
Because that's all it ever does.
No, just because that's all it ever does.
Scotland, it rains. That's what it does.
Oh, Laney.
It's been raining most of the day up here, but come on.
Laney there just improves, and he's now 27 thousandths of a second from pole position. He's got 2 tenths back to Delore in terms of his time. And Fury's crept up to P3 here, and Exmart has crept up to P4 as well. 140 4 tenths off the pole time. Looking down to Gary and Dan, they've improved 132.2 and a 132.3, but it's not good enough.
Watch the back end go.
Oh, look at it wiggle. And again.
Correct it. How many corrections was that? 4 in one corner?
3, 4, yeah.
Yeah, in one corner, and that's kind of the story of the BMWs around here, I believe. You know, I must admit though, it's a pretty car, isn't it?
Oh,
especially the white one.
It's a beautiful car, Yeah. And you know, I'm a fan of the BMW, and if I was racing this series, I'd have probably gone with the BMW. But it looks a handful. It looks a handful.
Does, yeah. It does indeed. As I say, pretty looking car, especially that white one. But I mean, I did toy with it for.
And again.
6 or 7 corrections through the whole chicane, and still correcting it on the way out. Still trying to just catch it all together and keep it in a straight line.
It looks as if Dan's got more work behind the wheel than he can concentrate on where his braking points are and where he's to get the throttle back down. He's too busy correcting himself. I wonder if that's why they're losing so much time. It's too much at the wheel and missing your braking point or braking a bit too early to try and get the car to turn in and to find the grip. The Megane look, sling the back end round and it'll just grip and find it. The BMW, you've got to correct it.
You can work with the slide with the Megane, very much so. With the BMW, I'm not quite so sure. I mean, you know, Daniel is correction after correction to try and keep it moving forward. And you know, I did consider it for Tier 2 for about, I think it was about 3 milliseconds that I considered it. I thought, BMW would be nice. No, it wouldn't. Move on. So yeah, it's a big handful for sure. As he goes to overtake somebody who disappeared.
Yeah, that's a shame. Nick de Villa then was just on the track, then obviously put it back into the pits. And what a shame for Dan, because he's just pulled out there to go round Nick de Villa as he disappears into the pit lane. Laney's in the pits. Are we going to see another appearance from him? Maybe break that 1:29 barrier here. But yeah, Bard the Greek, who's struggling in his Megane, Gary and Unorthodox really struggling, and Dan's about a second off of John Boy. Gary 9/10 off the car in front in qualifying.
Yeah. So yeah, it's you get to a certain point. I mean, the top 9 now, top 8 in that 1 second kind of window there at the moment, and then time start to drop quite considerably. The Greek really struggling, 4 seconds off the pace at the moment. So hopefully you can bang a lap in before we're all done. This is a corner I was telling you about earlier. This is the one that Greek lost it on earlier. As you come round here, if you touch that curb just there on the left hand side, will throw you all over the place.
It's as if there's a little lip, isn't there? Just a little lip of the curb, as if it's raised just slightly, and it throws you off balance.
Yeah, if we do a whole lap on board with Delore now, as he comes through the final chicane sideways. Oh, and still correcting it on the way out. He's in the Megane as well. Slow lap for him, and he slowed down. Thank you, Delore. That's just what I wanted. Here we go. Fury's on the other side of the track, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's hanging straight.
Emo guy's about to start a lap. Here we go. Right, you're on TV, Ian, so behave. Just out of turn 1, and coming in turn 2. Turn 2's flat scat. Right through it, don't touch curves either side. In my opinion, the hardest corner on the track. Brake, tuck in, try and find that apex. Apex comes late, car drifts, walks away from the apex, pulls it back over to the right hand side again. Stay off the curbs, both sides. Let the car progressively move across the track. Don't push it across there. Just let it drift from one side to the other. Bring it back, path of least resistance. Take your time, back over to the right hand side. Pick your braking point. There's a bump here. Hit the brakes just on the bump. Round you go, trying to step out, tucking it back into the apex. Short squirt now, we're on the back side of the circuit. Short squirt to this next one. This one opens up a bit nicer than the one before. Another right-hander, trying up on the curve, back end will twitch again. Want to try and get as much drive out as there as possible, because you're going to be flat scat to the last chicane. Onto hanger straight, stay off the curbs, really important. Let it just drift out to the right-hand side. Bring it back across just before the bridge. Session's over, so Emo Guy's on his last lap. Pick your braking point, do all your braking, get it slowed down, then turn right, then turn left, aim at the wall, the yellow brick, and the start-finish line comes up just after the chicane, and that is how you do a lap of Silverstone Classic, or aka Thruxton as we like to call it.
It is indeed. Gary, Nick de Villa, WSRCJ, X-Mark, Delore all in the pits. Are we going to see Laney break his the 1:29 mark here? He's coming to the end of his lap.
Like
oh no, I think has he been a bit compromised by Dan there, because he's backed out to that one.
Yeah.
There's a few more coming to the pits. Andy's third. Fury still out there. Oh no, Fury's called it a day. John Boy, he's done.
Slowing down.
Yeah. Lodder's still on a lap. Lodder looks like he's the last man to finish a lap, to be fair. Looking at the track map, where the blue arrow is, that is who we're on board.
Yeah.
Touches at curbs, has to lift off. Big old lift there for Lodder.
Fighting that thing all the way through there, wasn't he?
Look at Dan. Dan's just done a 1:31.9, so he's broke the 32 barrier by 0.02 of a second. He's 0.3 quicker than Gary 1:31, but he's crucially still 0.8 slower than Nick de Villa in front of him.
So basically, Dan just wrung the absolute neck of that BMW to get absolutely everything out of it to come 11th.
Yeah, basically, as long as I beat Gary, that's my fight tonight. That's all they're fighting, isn't it? As Laney takes pole position in this one by 0.2 of a second from Delore. Andy in P3 with Fury. Good shout, good qualifying for him. 0.4 off the back of of Laney. Sorry, X-Mark P5 separated by 0.5. John Boy in 6th place then. And then we've got Lodder in P7 with WSRCJ in 8th. Emo Guy 9th. Nick de Villa 10th. And Orthodox P11 with Gary 12th and the Greek 13th. And do you know what I love about this this start grid is, look at them. It's like a motorbike race here, where they're all lined up, not in line, but in, you know, sort of a crisscross order. If you look at where Andy and Fury start on that, it is. You look at Andy and Fury on that second row. If they get a good start, they're straight through the gap. You know, they've not got to avoid the car, they're straight through the gap. And that ultimately is where, if the BMWs was on that second row, they'd be leading by turn 1. They're not, they're at the back, so they're not going to get as good a start as you'd think. But watch for them 2 BMWs at the back of the pack. Let's see where they can be at the end of turn 1.
I tell you what, Matt, I was in like 12th position or something when for tier 2, so I was pretty much where Gary is. Now, from that point, you can see right down the side there to the start line. You know, so you're only looking really at the 2 cars in front of you. You know that all the rest of them are there. And then when you come down, I mean, you know, I went straight for that gap, and I was lucky enough to go from the back of the grid to 5th in the first couple of corners by just having that line down the inside. Yeah. So looks like we're ready. Looks like we're syncing up, ready to go.
Watch for the BMWs at the back then as you hear the rev starting to rise. And we're green here at Silverstone Classic here, and look at the start from John Boy in that green Megane. Dan as well, he's muscling his way through. And I think he's just come across and caught WSRC there. And he's big incident again. Gary's been involved, Dan's involved as well. So the 2 BMWs got a good start, but both involved. Dan is backwards here, flicks it round. Who else was involved? Fury involved, unfortunately, as well, as was Delore and Lauder. Delore on second place here was involved in that incident, but here is Laney, Xmart, Emo Guy, John Boy, Andy, and the Greek from the back of the pack. The Greek up into P7. Yes.
Well, that's the uniqueness of that grid, because those who were way down have gone way up. As you can see, the Greek, I mean, he's falling back a little bit now, but what an incredible start. But an horrendous one for Fury, for Dan. Dan had a good initial start, but got caught out. There was a lot of carnage going on. We don't quite know who started what, but certainly a lot of guys involved in that first corner incident, for sure.
Indeed there was, and it was a shame as well, because Dan had a blistering start in his BMW. Like we see week in, week out with these BMWs, they get a blinding start, and Dan here had one of them. Gary's managed to get away. He was involved a little bit, but has managed to get away in P7, but I can see Fury hunting him down very quickly. The Greek really getting back onto the back of this pack for the lead, and look at this, Xmart, Emo Guy and Andy making it 3 wide. The Greek and John Boy want to make it 4-5 wide here, and they're not going to be able to do so, and Emo Guy just squeezing Xmart into the braking zone, and Emo Guy up into P2 from Xmart. Andy. John Boy, though, has the Greek all over the back of him, and this is the advantage of the slip around this circuit, that you can be a couple of seconds off the back at one stage, and then all of a sudden, with these guys battling the way they are, they're right back. You're right back on them.
Yes, indeed, and they all went in there reasonably hot, and it was Emo Guy who had the best line and came out in front of these guys, so he now leads this train. Where's Xmart? Emo Guy. Yeah, Xmart is right behind him, and Emo Guy leads this train of about 5 cars who are all fighting for first position. Laney's checked out, he's gone 2.5 seconds down the road. Get his head down and get on with it. We have got a pit stop. We haven't dropped the pit stop just because we got a shortened race. I think the pit stop, what was it, lap 8?
Lap 6.
Lap 6. The pit stops, everyone's got to do a pit stop. They don't have to do anything, they don't have to change tyres, change fuel, whatever, but they do have to do a pit stop. And it's an interesting pit in on this one. Quite a long pit in with a couple of corners to it. See, Gary's caught up on the back of this train now, Matt.
Yeah, and it's one of them, like I say, Kelly, it's one of them where if they're battling for position, you could be right there. Has Gary made tweaks to this BMW on its race pace? We didn't see that in terms of qualifying. Gary had no qualifying pace whatsoever, but he's right. In fact, he's past the Greek, so he's done him. Job done on the Greek, and now he can hunt down the other cars in front. Will he be able to get to them though? Xmart, John Boy, Andy and Emo Guy all a bit quicker than what the Greek qualified. Don't forget the Greek qualified plumb last in this feature race here, and Gary at the minute doing a stellar job, and as he crosses line a 130. He's done a 132.2, so all of a sudden, from qualifying to the race, he's found a second.
Yes, he has got it all out of shape in that corner. Got a wheel on the grass. I thought he was going to lose it big time, but managed to collect it all up and get it moving forward again. So we'll have to keep an eye on Gary, see if he can keep on the pace of these guys in front of him. Lots of quick guys in front of him. He's only 6 seconds off the lead, 3 laps in. So. You know, it's moving forward, so that's good. Championship points and all the rest of it. So he's going okay. As I said, Laney's checked out. Look,
gone.
3 seconds now ahead of Emo Guy. Emo Guy's got Andy for close company in second place, and then just about everybody back to seventh. Then is chasing on behind this and looking to gain some positions.
Oh, did John Boy just touch the grass there? He's had a nasty flick out. What looked to be as if he was on the grass. I wonder if just lost a bit of momentum there. John Boy's dropped off the back with Exmart. They've just dropped off the back of Emo Guy and Andy. They were just lapping a little bit quicker than them two. I tell you what, if Gary keeps on at that pace, he'll be on the back of Exmart in no time at this moment in time. It was 1.4 quicker last lap, so we'll have to keep an eye out on that one. As John Boy's trying to hassle to get back on the back of Andy, and Exmart trying to follow him as well. Fury's got past the Greek up into P7. He is Nick the Villa. Who's he just battling with? That's WSRCJ, as well as Delore, Lodder and Dan. And Dan, 13th again. He's shortening that 3 series to a 1 series. But he's got the chance here to make up a couple of positions, Kelly. Just got to keep his nose clean and keep up with these guys to start with, because we know they're struggling for pace, these BMWs, but if anyone can do it, Dan can do it.
If anybody can get the best out of the car, Dan can. But as you say, he's made a mess of that BMW, hasn't he? Again, his mechanics will be over the moon because he smashed the one up in race 1 as well. Lots of heavy damage on that BMW, as he's done Lodder. Lodder went wide, I think, and Dan came up the inside, got the traction. He's now on the back of this lot. Let's see if he can do anything with it, as we see post going flying left, right, and centre as those guys are sorting out the McGann's traction. And it's very easy when you turn into that corner for the front end to bite, and then you end up ripping out a couple of those poles out of the floor. As Dan is having a look at Nick the Villa now.
Yeah,
trying to go round the outside. Dan,
he's got it horribly wrong. I think he's gone. Yeah. Where's he gone? Yeah, he's off. Round. Big slide, and round he goes. So not working for Dan here. He's now decided that he wants to make the rear bumper disappear from that car. And all that duct tape that the guys in the garage put on that car to keep the bodywork on for this race has not worked very well. Gary is still lapping in the 1:31 here, so impressive pace from Gary. He didn't show this in qualifying, so whatever he may have tweaked between quali to race, impressive pace again, a 31.5 again, so a bit quicker than Exmart last lap. So he's managing to keep with these guys just in front of him, and also managing to keep the gap to Fury a bit behind. And with Emo Guy, John Boy and Fury all now having a fierce battle, the three of them, this could allow Exmart and Gary to just roll up onto the back of these three and just sort of put them under some more pressure. And Gary here, you have to say, doing a stellar job in that BMW.
Yes, indeed. He's certainly, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's just keeping his concentration and just making sure he hits all his marks as well as he can. You know, it's... when you've got a car that's not underneath you, you just have to concentrate just that little bit more.
Yeah.
And keep your wits about you, don't you? You know, you just have to put that extra bit of concentration and maybe not have the ultimate lap time, but just be consistent. Be consistent and try and keep just getting the best out of the car is what I'm trying to say. You know, and that seems to be what Gary's doing.
He does at the moment, but Andy here has lost John Boy and is looking to make some more moves. Stage of this race, he's looking to get back onto the podium as John Boy's got in front. Delore, WSR and Unorthodox all have time penalties to their name. Laney's checked out, he's now 4 seconds up the road, but John Boy defending into that chicane from Andy, and Andy not looking to make a move here into that chicane this time around. But he's playing the patient game, is Andy, waiting for his time. But with this shorter feature race due to the problems with the PlayStation Network, he's not got as long as he wanted. Pit window is open at the end of this lap as he's made it. Wait, what's happened to Emo Guy there? A bit of a slowdown penalty, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Emo Guy there. I don't know if he had a slowdown or what.
For the chicane.
What? A slowdown for the chicane?
That wonky.
Oh, wonky.
Wonky. Is that a technical term? Wonky? He went all wonky.
As in slidey.
all sliding through this game for Ian. Oh, Andy's very, very deep there, and is that going to allow Ian an opportunity to get a better run onto the hanger straight? He lost a bit of time to John Boy as well. Exmart not really making ground on these guys here, and Gary's not making ground on Exmart. Where's Fury coming through in the background? He's not making ground on Gary neither. As here goes Ian, move on to Andy up the inside and towards Stowe Corner here at Silverstone Classic, and that one is job done for Ian.
Yeah. I think Andy saw him coming and thought it's not worth defending that.
Gary!
Gary's gone!
Wow, big slide, big power slide out that final corner, and unlike the guys at Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, he couldn't keep hold of it. And in fact, it looked like the guy on Tokyo Drift when he first moves out there and can't drift to save his life. That did, to be fair, except he didn't put it in the wall.
Looks like Dan's car at Tokyo Drift. Yeah, it looks like Dan's just started to learn to drift. The way it's smashed up. And the shame for Gary was going well.
Now
these
here
guys
we go.
Go to the pits.
Yeah,
first
John Boy
pits, looking like John Boy.
Andy as well into the pits. Oh, what a horrible pit lane. Yeah, it's horrible. That looking very windy and tricky. That is a nasty pit lane. You could lose some time going through there, I tell you.
Yeah. And the marker comes up real quick. You know, you're turning round round all those corners, and then all of a sudden it's the pit limiter. So yeah, tricky one for sure. As these guys make their mandatory pit, as I said earlier, they don't have to do anything. Ignore the mechanics; they're useless anyway. And they don't have to do anything. Don't have to put fuel in or change tyres. There's no compound changes or anything like that in Formula One. It is just you've got to do the deed, as it were.
Park up and go. WSR and Delore come into the pits as well. So Dan has actually passed 2 cars on track. Go on, Dan. Keep going, mate. Dan's still yet to make his pit stop in his... That's been off again, I reckon, because that rear spoiler looks a bit even more bent.
I think want them to repair that.
I think Dan's just playing a game of how much bodywork can I lose before the end of this race.
And he's winning.
Yeah, he is winning at the moment as Project Cars decides to re-put his front bumper on and then get rid of it again as he comes round this corner. Laney with a 7-second gap at the moment, lap 7 of 18 here, Kelly. And really, Laney's dominated this race.
Yes, indeed. He got out in front and hasn't looked back really, has he? 7-second lead now over Emo Guy, who's been scrapping with Andy and Delore. Was it Delore he was scrapping with? Yeah,
no, John Boy,
beg your pardon. So that might come back into play a bit later on because those guys have already pitted. The front runners haven't, so it's only Andy and John Boy that have pitted at the moment. And WSRJ, did he pit? Anyway.
Yeah, WSRC and Delore have pitted, so has John Boy and Andy. Well. Emo Guy's now into the pits as well.
Okay, I was going to try... No, it's already there. I was going to try and get on board with someone as we come into the pit lane, but I don't know who's going to pit next to be able to jump on with them. There's John Boy. Where does he come out in relation? Has Emo Guy gone in front of him?
Emo Guy's in between him and Andy. So we should see. There is Ian returning to the track now. So he's managed to stay in front of Andy, but he's not jumped John Boy here. So that is interesting to see at this stage of the race that John Boy's actually jumped Emo Guy then by quite some margin, because these three was a lot.
Before he was already ahead of me before he went on.
Yeah, but what I mean is he's managed to gap you a lot more. You three was a lot closer last time around before the pit stops, and they're a bit more spaced now.
Yeah.
Well, John Boy could have had a couple of quick laps, a good in, a good out, whatever. So it happens, but they're still in the hunt. We certainly, the undercut or the overcut isn't dramatic for either of them. So Emo Guy's got Andy for very close company. Looks like Andy's going to have a crack down the inside between these two right-handers. Makes it stick this time. Ian doesn't fight him too hard. Live for another day, getting his slipstream, have a crack at him at the chicane. These boys both know what they're doing. So Gary goes into the pits. Look, just missed him. I want to get on board with someone and show you this pit lane, but this is too late now. We're actually in the pits, so I'll pick somebody up. I'll catch someone.
Ladies up pitted yet?
Yeah.
So we'll have to maybe jump on Laney and keep an eye out for him for when he pits. He's well out in front, look, at the moment in time. Fury's up to second place, and Fury's actually making looks like a bit of grounds on X-Mark then, as he's only a second and a half behind him now, so making a few grounds up as Gary's lost out to... No, Gary's not pitted in relation to who was behind him. Gary's out the pits exactly where he should be. Dan's up to P9, but Dan's got to pit yet.
Yes,
Andy
indeed.
has a 3-second penalty.
Oh, Andy has a 3-second penalty. Oh, to add to his troubles.
Yeah. You say Andy's got one? It's
and he.
I thought I heard Andy as well. That's what I thought.
What are you saying? You can't understand your own accent, Ian? Is that what you're saying?
No, Laney has a 3-second penalty.
Yeah, Laney's just picked up a massive time penalty there. I've seen I don't really see where he'd cut the corner, but he's not slowed down. We know Laney, after last week at Donington, Kelly, is vulnerable to getting a time penalty, but I think the gap he is in front, it doesn't matter to him, as Nick the Villa here having a cracking fight with Lauder then, in what is some mushed up bodywork, bits falling off everywhere on these cars as Nick the Villa's coming into the pits.
Here we go, look, watch this pit lane, look, you get all the way around it and then look at this, and he's hit the wall, look, that's how tight that corner is, and then you come round the next right-hander and your pit limiter is right there. So it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one, not the best pit entrance. No, and then I think the exit is easy.
And for Nick the Villa, he's lost a bit of time after he hit the wall as well, so not what Nick the Villa would have wanted here. So at the moment, if he wanted to jump Gary 131, that's not going to happen because he's clipped that wall, and that may have cost him a bit of time here. Where is Gary? In fact, Gary's dropped all the way down. He's lost out to WSRC and Delores, so Gary's had a horrid outlap, a real stinker of an outlap here as he is Emo Guy up the Andy up the inside of John Boy, and these three now have started to get back within their little battle that they was having before the round of pit stops, that 10 of 18, and these three resuming their battle from earlier.
Yeah, these guys seem to be all connected with some sort of invisible string. They seem to be chopping places left, right and centre. John Boy, Andy and Emo Guy all in this three-way battle that they've had all season. As John Boy has a look round the outside, he could have, I was going to say, he can make it hard to stick round there, and didn't. And now he's under pressure from Emo Guy. As Emo Guy comes round the outside, he's going to try and put one. Yeah, he's got it done before the corner. So John Boy goes back. He's got to regroup, get back in that slipstream and have another go at them. It's given Andy a moment to just break away from these two, but these guys have been in such close company. I think this battle will rage and rage all the way to the end of the race this evening.
Well, this battle's been the battle. Fury in the pits. This battle has been the battle that started early doors in this race and is continuing to go at the moment in time. Gary at 209 last lap, so that's how bad a lap he had last time around. Dan's up to P8, but he's still got to pit. I'm not expecting Dan to come out ahead of anybody after he pits. Maybe around the Greek, he might be close to him, as Fury has dropped down to P7 in his pit stop. He was in a fight with Exmont. Oh, and that is Andy very wide at the exit to turn 1. That's going to be a slowdown for sure. Massive slowdown. I don't know. That'll be a slowdown, I reckon, Kelly.
Yeah, I was going to say that would have not lost him a lot in time moving forward, but would have given him a slowdown. Does he try and feather it out around the corner? Although I've tried this, trying to feather out the speed around the corners around here, and it just doesn't work at all. You know, so
has a 6-second penalty.
Lauder?
He's got a second penalty.
No, Lauder has a 6-second penalty.
Got a second penalty.
Well, these guys are within 10 seconds of him, and Andy has just picked up a penalty himself there.
Yeah, that'll be it.
Oh, and him and Emo Guy touch. And I tell you what, they have gone deep off there. Look, Andy's gone to get a cup of coffee. A few autographs for the fans.
Yeah, and they're both off and out of this one.
Yeah, Ian Carr still going. I think he's waited for Andy to come back on as Andy rejoins now by WSRJ. Just as he picked up the time penalty, a bit of a coming together between the two of them, and that is not what Andy wants. A bit of a terrible round here in terms of his championship, Kelly. His championship, if it could have gone bad, it's this round, but hopefully this is the only round it can go bad for him then. As Emo Guy rejoins P10, Exmont still not been in the pits, neither has Laney, and I don't think Lauder has, but that has given John Boy a heck of breathing space.
Yes, indeed. Look at Dan's up to 5th, but I don't think he's pitted.
No, he's not pitted yet now.
No, he's not pitted. So, Mr. Consistency, look, X-Mart, your reigning champion, right there when he needs to be. Look.
Colin Turkington-esque drives from X-Mart, I've noticed. You never really see him on the top step, but he's always there picking the points up. Very Colin Turkington-esque.
Yeah, just keeps his cool, keeps his head down, keeps doing the lap times, picking up the points when everyone else trips up. He's right there to capitalise, and it's exactly what he's doing now. You don't see many Larry moments with X-Mart. You just see consistency.
And I go back to a couple of years ago in the real touring cars in the real world. Turkington won one race, but was that consistency? Won the title. That's all it takes to win a championship. I won a championship in a previous league where I didn't win a single race in the series, but I won the title by a point because of the consistency that was there, and it's very easy to do.
Consistency is is a great tool to have in your racing arsenal. You know, again, on the flip of that is we spoke about it before. Andy has had last season had 4 wins, but couldn't put a title together. You know, so yeah, consistency is key. It's better to have 8 second places than it is 4 wins. You know,
indeed it is. As X-Mart's coming to the pits now, Kelly. So he's in for his stop. He was fighting with Fury, so let's see where he comes out in relation to Fury. And Bar Laney's car, this probably the only other car that looks like it's got no scratches, no dints, and all the bodywork pointing in the right direction and smooth.
I was going to say, it's quite a pretty car, that, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I'm not a Renault man by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
But that's quite a pretty car, isn't it?
Honda man, aren't you, Kelly?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I love a Honda lawnmower.
Yeah, exactly.
And generators, to be fair. Good. If you want a good, reliable lawnmower, Honda's your lawnmower.
Where is Fury in all of this? And Fury's there, actually,
He's
in this battle with Andy and WSR. So X-Mart has really jumped Fury. He was only a second half behind him. He's now, well, about 5-6 seconds up the road from Fury. So good pit stop from X-Mart then. He even came out in front of Dan. Oh, yeah, Andy trying to make up for lost ground from earlier when he had his off. And he's pushing and pushing and pushing. And he's managed to get past Fury. He needs to clear WSRCJ then, as Delorey's on the back of Fury now. And he's pulled out to have a look. Andy's trying to defend as well. Fury trying to defend from Delorey. And Delorey's going to try and barge through the middle of them. Andy must have had a slowdown because he's backed well off the pace. And Delorey gets 2 places.
Yes, he does, but it isn't over with these 4, is it? There's obviously a good scrap going on here with these 4, and as I say, it isn't over yet. As Delorey has a sniff at the inside as they come round and down onto Hanger Straight. As I say, this cheeky little left-hander here can mess you up something rotten. So they're all going to go. These 3 are going to go side by side as they go into the chicane. The chicane is an overtaking opportunity if you can outbrake the guy beside you, but look, Andy going a little bit wide, but tucks it back in again. Fury.
Fury, great cutback.
Yeah, nice move, Fury.
Great switchback move. Fury's had a great night here, if I'm going to be honest, Kelly. Bar that incident at the start of this feature race, which put him towards the back of the pack early doors. Fury has had a cracking evening in terms of his driving. I don't think I've seen Fury drive this well.
Is it time to start throwing out the driver of the day?
Potentially for me.
4 laps to go. Who's your driver of the day? Let's see
Fury.
on the messages. Let's get
it in the comments.
Let's see it. Who do you think's your driver of the day? Who are you going for, Matt?
I was gonna give it Gary when he was running P6 in this race, but then he binned it, and I was only going to give it Gary purely on the fact a 3rd and a 6th in that BMW would have been an outrageous effort. But I'm going to give it to Fury, because Fury is showing here as he's going to make a move on Jay, it looks like, up the inside. He drove a very clever, consistent race in race 1. He's driving brilliantly here as Dan again has decided to the boot's gone on that back of that BMW. Yeah, Fury's been consistent. He's made moves. He's raced hard. He's raced clean. He's raced fair. I'm going to give it to Fury. I think he's been brilliant.
I echo that completely. I think Fury has driven a really good meeting. I think his race 1 was incredibly mature. You know, and as I said, we've said it week in, week out, and we say this about, be it on Motive or on Simplay, there's certain drivers that we've started to build an opinion about, and you know, Fury, he's quick. He's no doubt he's quick. He lacks consistency. You know, makes some crazy mistakes. We see Jay go wide in the background. He lacks consistency, makes silly mistakes, you know, kind of rookie mistakes, but certainly tonight he's shown some class tonight.
Do you know sometimes Fury. What I think it is with Fury is he's a young lad.
Yeah, totally.
Not yet in his 20s, he's a young lad, and I think a young head on shoulders on a grid this experienced and this of this quality can sometimes be a bit overwhelming, no matter what league you're in. If you're in a top tier grid, it can sometimes be a bit overwhelming for a young lad's age. Fury tonight has had an old head on young shoulders for me. He's driven superbly.
Absolutely, and you can see it in real motorsport, can't you? As we see some of the young guys come up through into Formula One, you can see that they have pace, and they're quick, but they just lack race maturity. And as I say, tonight we've seen race maturity from Fury, and hopefully it continues.
I was just about to say, Kelly, it's now building on this. It's now going to the next step from this. After this mature race, where do you go next? So whatever Fury's next race is, whatever the next car is, or unless you know, don't just keep it for the touring cars. Put it into your next event, whatever your next event is. Keep that maturity going. Keep building on what you've done. Fury's granddad's just said in the comments he was 16 in December, so that's what I mean. Such a young lad in terms of sim racing against this experienced grid. You know, I know Gary's in his 30s, Dan's mid 20s. I know Andy's mid 20s. So you know. No, see, Dan's only 10. Makes me feel younger mentally. If you say that. As here, look, Fury's got a cracking run. So is Andy on the back of Delore, and he's going to pull out here. He's going to have a look into the inside, and Andy's really got nowhere to go. He's kind of boxed in. Is he going to think about going through the middle of them down into the corner? No, Andy sensibly in the championship hunt just backs out of that one. Fury again another cracking Fury, move up the inside. Fury here. He's making grounds, and ultimately as well, Xmart's not had the best a couple of laps since his pit stop. They're reeling Xmart in. Fury was in a fight with him. He's now really in a battle with him. Fury here could get on the podium once again, Kelly.
Yes, these three have got a sniff at the podium, to be fair, and it's kind of creeped up. I don't know if Xmart's been... Yeah, Xmart in the 33s, like Fury's in the 30s. So these guys have been catching while they've been scrapping amongst themselves as Andy goes one way, then the other, to try and find a way round Fury. They're dropping Delore a little bit, but I'm sure Delore will regroup and be back again.
Sorry, what's happened to Gary? 138 last lap, and he's now down to last. He was catching Nick de Villa, and he's now down to last. Look at that. No rear spoiler on the back of that BMW. It's clean at the front. Oh, there is a spoiler. Oh, Gary's car looks very clean, so I don't know what he's doing.
It's much better than Dan's.
He's just got no pace. Oh, Delore's had a spin apparently up the front. Yeah, he's no longer in this battle, look, Kelly. As Andy's got past Fury, we've missed that one, but Delore isn't anywhere to be seen.
And Andy's got in front of Fury, and Jay's got in front of Fury now.
I think this is pure slipstream, Kelly, that's getting them past.
So do I. I said these places would chop and change, didn't I? When the three guys are close to each other, they seem to get in each other's slip, and then they get an advantage. So
and Fury being a bit off the back of Xmart as well, the leader of this trio pack, didn't have any slipstream as he's about to make a move on Jay here, and he has that one done as Jay went onto the grass a little bit there. I don't know if him and Fury had a bit of a tap. It didn't look like it, but Fury back in front. But yeah, the slipstream there that Andy and Jay would have had over Fury is what's got him back in front. But get back in that slipstream of Andy now. Andy's trying to keep in that, trying to get in the start that slipstream of Xmart. And Fury here with 1 lap to go. You know, it's not a bad position where Fury's in. 1 lap to go. Use that slipstream wisely on the last lap. Get them places back before they've got an opportunity to do that.
Yes, indeed. So Xmart's just got to keep his cool and just try and keep his gap from Andy and the chasing pack of Fury and Jay as well. They've all got the bit between their teeth. They've spaced out a little bit now, but Xmart is vulnerable, and Mr. Consistency needs to do exactly that. Keep it consistent for the last lap and a half and bring this one home.
Indeed he has here. Jay just dropping off the back. He was pulling to one side a moment ago there. Andy well within Xmart's slipstream here. Needs a good final lap to get on the back of him though. Time penalty for Andy's going to cost him massively. Fury will want to stay with Andy and his time penalty so that he doesn't drop too far back in terms of falling away from it. He's a bit out the slipstream though, I've noticed, compared to Andy. Andy flying on the last lap. WSRJ's coming into the pits.
Really?
He's pitted already, and Dan hasn't pitted. He's coming into the pits now, but Jay coming into the pits was in this battle. The only thing I can think of is he's underfueled.
Well, could be, yes. He could have just misjudged his fuel. That's a shame because he was going well, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. But this man, take nothing away from this man's drive in this second race. What an experienced drive that has been from Laney. What a great drive that's been from Laney. But this, the battle at the moment. Andy now well within Xmart's slipstream. And if you're Xmart here, you can see Andy's time penalty. Would you just let him through and not think of putting up too much of a fight?
I don't know about that. I think I'd fight that one if it was me.
I mean, Andy's got a time penalty, so I fight it and maybe risk having a collision. Do you know what I mean? Let Andy go, you're going to get that place back. Fury's your main challenger. As Laney then crosses the line for a race win. Dominant performance from Laney in this one. John Boy looks like he's going to come across for a P2. Had a good fight with Andy and Emo Guy in this race as he's slipping and slow. Oh, keep it going.
John Boy, keep it together.
Dear, he wouldn't want to have spun there. And here's the battle then. Andy may lose his P4 to Fury. But X-Mart's going to take that final podium, and more consistent points for X-Mart, the defending champion for P3. Andy will cross the line 4th, but will drop to 5th as Fury takes a 4th and a 2nd tonight. What a drive from that man. Delore is going to take P6. Emo Guy is going to cross the line for 7th, with Lauder in 8th. Nick the Villa, P9. The Greek... Oh, Nick the Villa's not yet crossed the line. The Greek, though, is coming up towards the final chicane. Here's Nick the Villa. Oh, P12 and 13. Look at him. Terrible. Nick the Villa then, P9. The Greek is going to take a P10. WS, has just lost out to Gary. So the BMWs was going to be 11th and 13th. But Gary here's nicked P11 at the final hurdle here. Has he? Yes, he has now, as he crosses the line ahead of WSRCJ, who gets P12 in the end. And well, he's got a front bumper back since he's been in the pits. Yeah, he's been in the pits.
Are we going to see him show off here? Look out, Donut Dan, innit? Here we go, Donut Dan, the pink one with the sprinkles, please.
I had a pink donut with the sprinkles before we came on air.
Oh, that's why I said it. My mouth's been watering ever since.
It was nice as well, Kelly.
Where can I get a donut at 10 o'clock at night? You know, just, it ain't happening in Cornwall, I tell you. Get past it at 10 o'clock at night, but not a donut.
Tell you what I like about Cornwall is the Rattler cider. Beautiful. Laney, though, takes the race win. And no, Andy gets the fastest lap of the race.
I only live about 3 miles away from the factory where they make Rattler.
Beautiful, beautiful cider.
Strong stuff.
Oh, it's
anyway,
beautiful.
Don't get me on that.
Lady takes the race win from John Boy. Oh, definitely. X-Mark P3 Fury. What a race for him tonight. Championship leader Andy. No points in race 1 and a 5th place in race 2. Work to do next week. Where are we next week, Kelly, on the calendar? Snetterton, I do believe.
You, my friend. Alton Park, actually.
Is it?
Alton Park Island.
There we go then. I look forward to being at Alton Park. Lovely little circuit. Overtaking very, very tricky as it is such a tight track.
That's why I don't... Yeah, very tight Alton Park. Very, very tight. I'm not looking forward to it, to be fair.
It's going to be a good race.
But that's... Yeah, absolutely. It'll be a cracking race. Always is. Always is. But, yeah, all good. So that's where we are next week.
It's going to be an absolute cracking one. Andy, Kelly, any final words from yourself?
Great race from Fury this evening. Very impressed with Fury. I think we both were. And cracking racing by all. I think, again, a bit of an unusual circuit has thrown up some interesting racing. But, hey, the class of the field, Laney this evening, excellent job. 2 wins out of 2. Good man. Fury, for my book, driver of the day.
Yeah, Fury driver of the day for me. The other headline, work for the BMWs yet again after Brands Indy. They come back strong at Donington. They've gone back a mile in this one, though. That's all we've got time for. We'll be back live next week, me and Kelly in the commentary box. Motive, though, will be live tomorrow night for the Assetto Corsa Competizione Porsche Cup, I do believe it is, tomorrow night. And you'll be back in the commentary box Tuesday night, Kelly, for the Renault Clios.
Yeah, if you want to see some good action, you know, Matt, that Renault Clios are nuts. Absolutely nuts. Come and join us Tuesday night.
And we'll be back together next week on Sunday, so I look forward to that one around Alton Park.
Before that, we'll be back together with Simplay.
Well, we'll be back together at Simplay, but I'm on about this.
All you Motive diehards, if you know Thursday night there's nothing happens on Motive, so all you diehard Motive people, come and join us on Simplay on Wednesday and Thursday night. But Thursday night's the better one because I'm on with Matt. So come and join us. Come and join us Thursday night on Simplay.
Yeah, last round of the season where Emo Guy's going for 3rd and Dan's on fire. Andy's looking good. Fury hopefully can do some bits. But we'll be back together for the Touring Cars next week, guys. So hit the like button on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to get involved with any of the action here at Motive Racing, go to motiveracing.com. Check them up on Discord or their Facebook page. Get involved. Subscribe to their Patreons as well. A big shout out to all Patreons at Motive Racing. You guys know who you are. But thanks, that's all we've got time for here at Motive Racing. Take care and good night.
Good night, thank you.
Where are we?
Yeah.
I thought, Kelly, them BMWs was superb tonight.
Oh yeah, they were fantastic. That one series that Daniel was driving was awesome.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, that hatchback, because he made it into one.
What fucking moron said that BMWs were going to be quick here?
You?
I didn't.
Yeah.
Dad,
I don't know which moron.
Yeah, Kelly or Mike's had a bit of a heart attack or stroke or something.
Oh, sorry, I was fiddling with the button.
Yeah, don't do that. It's really horrible on this end.
Does it? What I do?
Oh, stop! It's irritating.
Oh, Daniel.
Fucking.
It's all about Thursday night, mate. Fuck tonight. What you need is a Honda on Project Cars. That's what you really need to be in.
Yeah, because that way all the infield grass will look fantastic.
Yeah, look brilliant for when Gary spins off in his
nice
BMW.
Lines.
Yeah,
nice lines up and down. Beautiful lawn.
Hey,
I don't understand what was wrong. The car was just fucking undrivable. It was
I don't know what.
It wasn't just you, was it?
I don't know what me and Gary could have done to it. Literally, as soon as you, I was racing Nick Navilla. I was racing Nick, and I just try and go around the outside. But as soon as it went offline, it just wanted to spin.
Can I ask a question, by the way? What's this fuel thing all about? I seen you commenting it the other night. What's all this about?
Knob. He's just being a knob.
I seen him comment that on Sim Play the other night. And... Yeah.
He was just trying to wind me up.
Ah, right.
He was just winding me up, basically.
All right, I've just literally got a text off Gary.
At least
fucking that Beamer handles like shit.
Tell him I said the same. No, the car was just fucking awful there. I don't know why. It's just fucking shit. DJ Humphrey, it wasn't slow. When it stayed on track, it was as quick as the Megane, but it just did not want to grip. Exit corner. No.
We were watching, Dan.
Rear end just kept going.
We watched you round a corner and you took about 6 bites at a corner. Through the chicane, you must have had 7 corrections through the chicane. I softened
the suspension like mad. I've made it as
God damn! I thought you knew this.
Whatever I kept doing to it was not handling. I tested it and tested it. I was just. Well, the next one is Autumn Park, so. And I've changed I've changed a couple of the weathers just to kind of level the playing field a little bit for the BMW. Yeah, I've set a few races that are a bit more wet now, so that it kind of levels the playing field a little bit towards the end of the season. Just because I just want to see diversity with these Beamers. The only reason I picked it was because there's
it sounds like Lewis Hamilton now.
Yeah.
Diversity.
If I sounded like Lewis Hamilton, I'd be fucking winning, but I'm not. By the way, G, I don't have a fucking clue what happened earlier on. Like PlayStation.
PlayStation.
Kicked out. Then obviously, PlayStation or PSN just went so fucking slow that these lot couldn't get in with the note. It was. Yeah, it's fucking weird. Whatever was going on, it was shit.
Yeah, I found a website that was showing you reports that people were putting in, and all of a sudden, from like 8:25 to like 8:45. Yeah, so like from like 8:25 to 8:45, there was like 300-400 reports in, and then it's come like just gone 8:45. It was starting to drop off a bit more and go back to normal. So.
Oh well.
Somebody pressed the off button at PlayStation.
We got it done in the end. Autumn Park Island next. Ideal.
Right.
No, we're sticking to the Touring Car Championship. Dad, before you disappear, I've got a question.
What's that?
I'm a little low on oil on my car at the minute. Right?
Got some in it?
Yeah. Right. Fucking wait a minute, you fucking dick.
Put some in it,
Is
Dan.
it worth? My car is pinging at me that it needs to get a service. Is it just worth me just taking it in for a service? Is it worth just speaking to Pedro and just get it serviced?
I'll see on Thursday for that one in the chat, yeah.
Yeah, if you want to get it serviced with Pedro, yeah, no problem. That'll be the easiest way. But if it's low on oil, put some fucking oil in it.
Well, I don't know. Is it the same oil as what Mum uses in her car?
Yeah. Both TDIs. Yeah, be fine.
Right. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, put a bit of that in it. Are you going to message Pedro?
Yeah.
Pedro.
Yeah. Ask him. You'd love Pedro. He's a fucking legend. Yeah, ask Pedro about it and go from there.
Why is he a Matt Neal fan?
He's been to touring car a bit, but probably not. No.
He's probably been off his face. He hasn't probably focused on what was fucking going on.
Well, yeah, and he's the man who's going to service your car. So yeah. And before I shoot off, Dan, who do I put a Stewart's inquiry in with? Or even just, it's every round that I want to complain about. Smokey.
It's on the string. It's on the stream. I will fill out the inquiry.
Really? You say no. Smokey don't seem that bad a driver when he races on ours.
He's fucking shit.
He's fucking shit. Shit.
Bad. Sketchy.
She's trying to find a really nice way of saying it.
That he's shit.
So, Dad, if you're gonna do it, there's a thing on Discord. This is why they go on Discord, and it will say